right, so we have a Express app, and when we curl localhost 3000, we get 0. Sweet. Let's add 2 more routes and we'll be done with this app. So you could copy them, and it's going to look like this. Increment is going to be our next route. Increment, right? And then here we're going to increase counter and then return that. Whoa. Let's see if that works though. Invalid left-hand assignment. Maybe I have to wrap it with a parens. Looks better. All right. So go ahead and do that. And once you do that, we'll do a decrement. So I can increment it up and decrement it down. Cool, we have an app. So let's deploy this. And what that means, well, before we actually deploy to a server, let me show you how we can serve this up to maybe your partners during a hackathon. Like you built something and you want to show it to them. And you know that like one of the things in like networking, if you're on the same network, then we can actually hit each other by IP. So if I knew your IP address, then I can input that IP address and go to :3000, and I'd be hitting your computer directly. However, if we're on a different network, or even on your phone that's not on this network, then we're behind a firewall inside of this network. So people outside of here cannot see your server. That's good, that's kind of safe. What I'm going to show you is how to expose this port and this service to the world. Right, so running locally on my computer at port 3000, we can expose this to the world. So the tool is called NGROK. You're gonna, if you're on Mac, brew, cask, install NGROK. That should do it for OS X. There we go. What NGROK does is it creates a local tunnel from your computer and exposes it through the NGROK service. To use it, you could just say NGROK and it'll tell you how to use it. Here's the example, NGROK HTTP 80. That means I want to expose a HTTP service through port 80. However, we are listening on port 3000. So the command is going to be NGROK HTTP 3000. If you hit this, it starts a server, hopefully, and you can share this URL to other people. Does everyone see what I'm seeing now except with a different subdomain? Oh, sweet. All right, so you can actually command click this, and there you go. You got your app. As long as your node server is running and listening on port 3000, then people can access your app. Pretty cool? This is like something you could do during hackathons or rapid development to share your code. Maybe you want to see what your code what your app looks like on a phone. So I'm going to kill NGROK, and to do that, it says at the top right, Control-C to quit. So Control-C, like anything else, will exit that, and my temporary web local tunnel is dead. See, it's dead. Another thing to note, if I run this, right, and I have like my server up here, increment, right? Then if for some reason I write some code and crash my server doesn't work anymore, so I killed my running server at local port 3000. This is what happens. It still attempts to communicate through that tunnel, and this is what happens. Failed to complete tunnel connection. All right, so just know that. You need to have this running. I could just run it back on 3000, and it'll just continue to work. Okay, so both of these need to work for you to use NGROK. That's like a last-ditch effort in deployment. Okay, so let's move on to another thing. Next, I'm going to actually deploy this And what deploying here means is take my code, put it up on a server so that if I turn off my laptop, it's still running, right? That's the goal. There's many ways to deploy. This is a really neat way to do it. It's called Now. So these awesome people at Zeit created something called Now. Right, so Google for Zeit and Now. ZEITNOW. There's a pink link at the top. It says download. They want you to use their GUI, so go ahead and download that and install it. So the cool thing about Zeit and Now is you can deploy just about any kind of application. It's really friendly with Node applications. So I'm going to install the Now desktop client. So this is how you install it in OS X. Once you drag it over to your applications, go ahead and install Now or run Now. Okay. So once it's installed and once you run it, what happens is you get the Zeit Now logo at the top, or it's a triangle. Do you guys get that triangle? All right, so just leave that there. You're good. All right, leave that there. And so if I want to deploy this project, npm install -g now, right? So if you don't have the now command, then npm install globally now. And this gives you the now command line tool, right? Where you could say deploy and no. For now to work, it expects a start script. As in, when I say npm start, something should happen. So I'm going to update my package.json. So go to package.json. We're going to create a new script. So start. And the command to start is node index.js. Okay, so here's my new scripts section of package.json. Make sure it's proper JSON format, double quotes, commas in the right places. Okay, I think we all have our start script. Let's test it out. Test it by doing npm start. If it says listening on port 3000, you are good to go. This is a standard way to run your Node servers and Node applications by using a start script. Okay, so for those of you watching this at home, when you type now, for the first time, it's going to ask you to go through some steps to verify your email. So it wants your email. They give you a lot for free, so just give them your email. It says, do you want to proceed with this deployment? I'm going to say yes. So just hit now, or type now, and then hopefully it asks you if you want to deploy it, and say Y for yes. So it is a free service. Because it's free, you're not paying for it yet, then it's assuming that you're deploying open source projects, things that you don't care if people have your source code. Never upload anything sensitive. And it says my deployment is complete. It also has copied the URL to my clipboard. So if I paste it in my URL bar, I now have my app deployed to now. So I can increment, and it's persistent. I can turn off my computer, I can turn off my server, and my app is deployed. You could actually use this to submit to a hackathon submission. This is legit because it's up. It's up. The judges can go to here and test it. What's up?
Where are we typing now in?
In the same directory as your project. So wherever your package.json and index.js is, you can say now, right? And every time you deploy, it's going to be a new deployment.
So server has to be on.
No, your server does not have to be on actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only for NGROK. For this, it takes your code base, throws it up, and is running on the now servers. So again, just hit now, and then you'll be able to deploy, and it'll look like this. This ready URL is going to be the URL where your project is deployed to. Then all of your routes still work. Increment all day.